the Community Education's coordinator here at the North Carolina Zoo. And since you guys are stuck at home, we're still going to learn some stuff today. We're going to learn about science. But we're going to learn in a fun way, guys. So trust me, science can be fun. And we're going to learn about this fun thing called density. Woo! Doesn't sound exciting. But density is a big word, but it's actually a pretty easy concept. So if you look at my plates I have in front of me, they're all three of them the same size. So they hold the same amount of air, in this case, or the same amount of whatever, and that's called volume. So when you hold however much it holds and how big it is. So density is how much it weighs per set volume. So when something is more dense, it has more things in it. And these things have a name. They're called atoms. Not the one that dated Eve. I know it's an old joke. So atoms, A-T-O-M-S. So atoms make up everything. Everything you see. Me, you, the tablecloth, the plates, they're everywhere. And they're tiny, tiny little particles. And some materials have lots of atoms in them. Some of them don't have very many. So this plate right here, again, same size as the other ones, maybe has one atom, not very many atoms. He's hanging out. He's got the whole place to himself. He's just got, room to move all over the place. He's happy. Then we have this one, same space, same amount of space. We have a few more. They're kind of a small gathering here, a little friendly gathering. So you've got plenty of room to move around still, not too crowded. And then they got this plate. They've got a lot more atoms in it. So this is kind of your club, your dance club. There's not a lot of room. Everybody's kind of packed in tight. And they're dense. They're more dense. That's what it means. Basically, you have more dancers in your material, we can call it. So the more atoms you have, the more dense you are. So this would be less dense, a little bit more dense, and very dense, as we call it. So this weighs more. It's heavier. It's just denser, we call it. And this is lighter. It weighs less dense. So this plate, I would consider this sorry, I didn't want to blow in the way in the wind, kind of like styrofoam. You guys have felt styrofoam's very super, super light, so not very many atoms in them, so that's why they're very light. It's not very dense. This would be kind of like a piece of wood. You've all felt that. So still a little bit, a little heavier than the styrofoam, but not super heavy. Whereas this one, your metal, is heavier, much more dense. You can hear it, whereas the wood, not quite as loud. Right? I won't drop the styrofoam because it's going to blow away in the wind. So this is way more dense. So metal is much more dense than wood, than styrofoam. So it just makes it heavier, just a lot more atoms in there, getting packed in there. And so there's some really cool experiments you guys can do with density at home. And that's what all these science experiments are about, is stuff that you have at home that you can do there, and you don't have to leave your house, which is kind of nice. So we can play with liquid density. So there's different kinds of liquids that I have up here. I've got honey, I've got corn syrup, I've got dish detergent, I have water, I've got oil, and I've got rubbing alcohol. And we're going to kind of play around to see which one's more dense. And these are the things you can do at home with your parents' permission, of course. Ask your parents and see, hey, can I mix up some different liquids and see which one's more dense? Or just go around and feel different objects. Hold up some different objects. See which one is heavier. If they're the same size and one's heavier, and you can say, well, that one's more dense because he is so much heavier. Excuse me. This is the honey, I swear. And as you know, honey is very thick and sticky, and so it might take a minute to get some out. All right. So because it is so thick, this is going to be our most dense liquid. So it's going to hold up all the other liquids that I'm going to put on top of it, which is kind of cool. And it's going to make some different layers. So when you pour your other layers in, helps to tilt the glass, and then just pour slowly down the side. And everything's so slow as molasses, or in this case corn syrup. That's what this is. So if you have some bakers in your house, you should have some corn syrup. Now, I don't recommend drinking this drink after we poured it because I'm putting dish detergent in it now, so it wouldn't taste very good. So go ahead and do the same. So dish detergent, pour it right in there. Again, go down the side, and you'll start to notice layers will form. So you got your honey, your corn syrup, and your dish soap. And I swear this is water that I put yellow food coloring in. I know it looks like something else, but it's not. So we'll pour that in very carefully. Tilt to the side. You're probably asking, why do I have this weird white thing in front of me? Well, that's just so Leslie, our lovely photographer over here, will hopefully be able to, so you can see the layers a little bit better. So that's why that's in the background. And then I have oil. You guys heard of the oil and water don't mix? Well, let's find out. So I put water, that's what the yellow was. So let's do a little bit of vegetable oil down the side, very gently. Try not to mix it with the Dawn or the dish detergent because that's, cuts grease. It might break up our layers. But they're starting to form there. And my last one is rubbing alcohol, and I just put blue food coloring in it just so you can makes the layers stand out a little bit more. So we pour that in gently. Oops, it's fun doing this in the wind. And if you just kind of let it sit for a little bit, you'll start seeing the layers kind of pile on top of each other. So I've got the honey on the bottom, which is the most dense, the corn syrup next, which is the next dense, and then I've got the dish soap, water, oil, and the rubbing alcohol. So you can kind of see the different layers there as they're playing with them. So it's fun things you can do at home. So before you go run to the cabinet, please ask your parents' permission and just try some different liquids. Mix some stuff up. Try not to blow yourself up, please. Make sure they're safe liquids. Don't be mixing bleach with ammonia, okay? Because that would be bad. Don't do that. So just be careful and have your parents with them. Hopefully they'll know what you can mix. Try stuff like this, food stuff, and maybe some dish soap. That's fine. And then don't drink it. Please don't drink it. And have fun. Have fun making a mess. All right, guys. I'll see you next time.